yes, I got a new Onewheel, but not just any Onewheel. I got the Onewheel GT. This is Onewheel's new flagship board. More range, more power, more speed. But not only did I get a new one, but Dave got one too. What's going on, Dave?
What's up?
I know you guys are like, John, you just got that Onewheel. Why'd you get another one? I'll get to that. You guys can be so pushy sometimes. Calm down, watch the video, and you'll find out. All right, we have now made it to Piedmont Park. I love this park so much because you just get a great view of the city here. So as I've stated before, the Onewheel has absolutely changed my life. It's changed the way I think about things. It's changed the way I move around. It's changed where I go when I want to have some fun, because now I always have that Onewheel in mind. So why did I get the GT? Few reasons. I kind of got sick and tired of planning rides and worrying about range. With this thing, you don't really have to do that anymore. You get 20 to 32 miles out of a single charge, and if you happen to go past that, you charge it for an hour and you're good to go again. What's an hour? A cup of coffee? Another reason is the speed. I used to get limited at about 16 miles an hour on the Pint X, which is what I filmed on previously. And that's all fine and dandy. These things aren't really meant for speed, but once you get used to the board a little bit, you kind of want a little bit more speed. Another reason is, like, when I find something that I really like to do, I want to be able to share that with my family, or else what's the point? You know what I mean? So I got Danielle a nice e-scooter that she could ride with me, and now my other Onewheel will go to Rachel. So now all that's left, I got to get something for Lena, maybe like a scooter of some sort. I got her like the $70 scooter from BrandSmart. It's okay, but it only gets like 6 miles of range and it takes like 5 hours to charge it up. That's just not good enough, man. So if you guys have any recommendations for good e-scooters for like a 7-year-old, I'm all ears. Now, Onewheel has been catching a little bit of flack for these new GTs, but with any kind of new technology, there are gonna be some bugs. Luckily, I haven't experienced any of them. People experiencing them ghosting, which means those front sensors are still activated, and then when they hop off the board, it'll keep going, which is bad news because these things are like 30 pounds, which makes it like a 30-pound missile heading towards a kid or something like that. You don't want those problems. But I haven't experienced that. But I have been taking the necessary precautions that if something like that would happen, I would be prepared. Like just kick it over on its side or aim it somewhere where nobody's gonna get hurt or something like that. But like I said, man, these Onewheels have changed my life. They changed my perspective. I'm all about PEVs now, and you guys know by now, once I get excited about something or I'm interested or I want to do something, I dive in at 1000% until I know everything about it. And sometimes I stick with it, sometimes I don't. I move on to something else. But I have a feeling that these Onewheels are going to be a part of my daily thing. Another good thing about these boards is just ease of access. I mean, say you got like a mountain bike, a dirt bike, a four-wheeler, something like that. You have to plan those things to have fun, right? And you still have to plan for these, just not as much. Like, since the gas prices went up so high, I made me fill my truck up like twice, because otherwise I'm just on this thing. If I need to go to the store, if I need to go to the gas station, I hop on this thing and I'm automatically having fun. It's just taking something boring and making it enjoyable. I don't know, I just feel like life is about finding these simple little treasures that make you happy and just flying with it, man. Plus the community on these things is incredible. I've made new friends. I haven't seen my boy Dave since high school, but now we hang out all the time because of Onewheels. You go on the Facebook communities, almost every major city, or sometimes even minor cities, have groups of riders that you can just meet up with each other and just shred. And it takes me to cool places like this that I don't normally go to, and I see duckies. So yeah, with that being said, I believe that the Pint X and the GT both have a place in my garage and a place in my home, just because these things just bring people together, man. Another thing about the GTs is that it's bigger, and which means bigger foot pads. With the Pint X, I don't know, I love it, but it feels kind of like a toy. This thing is a straight up vehicle. And And I wear a size 12 foot, and they're flat, and they're Sasquatch feet. And you know, you have to put your foot on the Pine-X just right to be comfortable. With this thing, I can slap my foot on in any kind of position, and it's going to be comfortable. And I like that a little bit better. You know, this is a man's board. And the Pine-X, I mean, it's still got a place because they're good for like portability. You can carry them around easier, they're lighter. You can just zip around town and it's not really a big deal. These are a little bit bigger, and with a little bit more manpower, you can still take these things anywhere. So that's just another pro and con of these boards. And like I stated before, there's no better way to explore a city than on a one-wheel. It just opens the whole world up to you. And here we are now on the Atlanta Beltline, where everybody bikes, scooters, runs, one-wheels, electric skateboards. And it just goes around the city in like a big circle. And it's got a bunch of shops, breweries, coffee shops along the way. All right, guys, all done with the ride. What a blast. Right there at the end, I did fall. Got a little road rash to prove it. But I fell on the grass, so it was fine. I just kind of slid, and it was actually the most pleasant fall I've ever had. So I got that going for me. Battery percentage when I hopped off was 72%, so I still had 30-something% left. Man, the battery on this thing is just crazy good. I no longer have range anxiety. I'm just kind of free to go wherever I want and not have to stress about charging as much. But here's the details of the ride. So I rode 23.8 miles. I rode for 2 hours and 41 minutes. My elevation gain was 1,342 feet and elevation loss was 1,332 feet. Average speed 8.9 miles an hour. My max speed that ride was 19.4 miles an hour, and I used 74% of the battery. So like I said, I'm keeping the other one wheel that I have, but that's gonna be mostly towards my kids when they wanna ride with me and stuff like that. But when I'm going out to shred, I'm taking this thing. This is a big boy's board. But I had a blast today. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, share, ring that bell if that's something that you're into. But don't you forget, I know Kung Fu.